Hello, it's me, Alex. I'm back and I'm so sorry for the delay. It turns out that YouTube is both time consuming and expensive. Who would have thought it? Anyway, I want to go straight into our topic today because let me tell you kids, I am pressed. Today we're here to talk about flags. Okay, we're not talking about that, but that was incredible. Now I have to admit before we start the video that I'm not much of a vexillologist. Basically, my main interaction with flags is when they're red flags and they're sitting across from me at the bar on a Tinder date. But there's invariably a time of year that flags do become a big part of my experience, and that is Pride. The Pride flag, or the rainbow flag, is a universal symbol of the LGBT movement. We basically stole rainbows off of heterosexual cisgender people and we're like, what you gonna do about it? But recently here in the UK, Manchester Pride decided to adopt a different flag to promote inclusion, and that flag was this. And basically, the queer internet has exploded. Some people are saying the flag is inclusive, other people are saying the flag is divisive, and some people are just like, why are we talking so much about our flag? But today I do want to talk about the brown and black striped flag. Where does it come from? Why is it important? And should we consider replacing the pride flag permanently? Stay tuned to find out more after this quick commercial break. Nah, just kidding. So to better understand this new updated pride flag, it's important that we understand the origin story of the first pride flag. The original pride flag was created by Gilbert Baker in the 1970s, right in the midst of the gay liberation movement. He was an associate of Harvey Milk's, and Harvey Milk basically asked him to create a symbol of the movement. The original design had 8 colors rather than 6, including hot pink and turquoise, but these were later scrapped for various reasons, and I cannot get over this because hot pink and turquoise are the gayest colors that I've ever heard of. And those are the ones that got scrapped. I mean, like, what were they on in the 70s? Well, we know what they were on. Another fun fact is that each of the original colors had a meaning prescribed to them. So yellow was sunlight, and I think red was sex. And one of my favorites is that turquoise was magic, an obviously fundamental part of the queer lifestyle. Hocus pocus, yes! So the reformed 6-color version of the pride flag became wildly popular after the assassination of Harvey Milk and has come to represent our community up until the present day. And an important note, this pride flag has existed alongside many variants. We have pride flags for the military and the police. We have pride flags for different countries and different cities which incorporate both design elements. We have pride flags for LGBT Christians. And we also have flags that represent particular minorities within the community. We have a trans flag, we have a bisexual flag. The list goes on. And all of these variations of the flag quite peacefully coexisted until 2017, when Philadelphia City Hall decided to introduce a new pride flag with brown and black stripes to highlight and start a conversation about the problems they were facing with racism in the LGBT community. Now, like many other cities, Philadelphia was having a big problem with this. Queer people of color within the Philly gayborhood were being routinely refused entry into bars and clubs, mistreated within bars and clubs, to the point where the city council unanimously passed a bill that would allow them to cease operations of any business which was proven to be discriminating against people of color. And this is in Philadelphia, a city in which the majority of citizens are people of color and white people are in the minority, which is crazy. To quote a spokesperson from Philadelphia City Hall, the flag was unveiled to spur dialogue within the community and impact the worldwide conversation, and not, and I repeat, not, to replace the original pride flag. But regardless of this fact, people lost their minds. And now with Manchester Pride in the UK deciding to adopt the brown and black striped flag as well, you're losing your minds all over again. I've seen many arguments against this flag, but the one that keeps on coming up again and again and again is people saying we don't need it. People say that the rainbow flag as it currently stands represents everyone, irrespective of color and creed, and creating a new flag is gonna do nothing to solve the problem of racism within the community. And to that I say, symbols are important. You can make the case that the original pride flag does nothing to really help homophobia or transphobia, but that's not true. We acknowledge that symbolism is useful and important. The brown and black striped pride flag represents an increasingly dire inequality between members of our community. To walk down the street and be called a homophobic slur and in the same day walk into a gay bar and be called a racist one is something that I've experienced, and it's not something that our community should be fighting over. Over half of LGBT people of color have experienced racism from within the community, and when you look at the experiences of black LGBT people, that figure rises to 60%. I don't want to permanently replace the pride flag, and I don't know many people of color that do. So much of the vitriol and anger and the backlash against this flag seems to be coming from the misunderstanding that in us creating a symbol that represents us, we're asking for it to be imposed on everyone else. When queer people of color come together in our own celebrations with our own symbols, we're not trying to replace the ones that already exist. We're simply giving ourselves a chance to celebrate every single aspect of our identity, whether that be our sexuality, our gender identity, or our ethnicity or skin color. These celebrations don't hurt anyone. they're an opportunity for everyone to feel included. Truthfully, the enormous backlash by many white LGBT people over the mere existence of the brown and black striped flag terrifies me. Because if we can't even have a symbolic acknowledgement of the discrimination we face, what happens when we ask white LGBT people to actually do something, to look inside themselves, to look at the behavior of others, to become real allies? I don't know anymore. So do I think the original pride flag is going anywhere? No, I don't. But to those of you who are saying that you'd rather see real efforts put towards stopping racism in the LGBT community instead of just talking about a flag, great. I challenge you, help us. If you have the energy and time to write a comment on social media about this flag being divisive, you have the energy and time to amplify and support the voices of people who are actually creating real change for people of color in this community. You have the time and energy to donate. You have the time and energy to share this video. You have the time and energy to sit down and ask yourself, what am I doing to help create a community in which every single LGBT person is equal? Because maybe it's not the flag that needs to be changed. Maybe it's you. That's all from me, everyone. As always, please feel free to comment, subscribe, do your thing, and as always, I will leave you with one of these. Wingardium Leviosa slay.